January 20th, 2017 will be remembered as the day the people became the rulers of this nation again. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now.
For they did the most unpopular thing that men can do. They started a popular movement. A man who dares to make a direct appeal to the populace always makes a long series of enemies, beginning with the populace. In proportion as the poor begin to understand that he means to help and not hurt them, the solid classes above begin to close in, resolved to hinder and not help. The rich and even the learned sometimes feel not unreasonably that the thing will change the world, not only in its worldliness or its worldly wisdom,
Donald Trump, don't trust China.
but to some extent perhaps in its real wisdom. Some fearing that the heavens might fall, some fearing far more that justice might be done.
Because you'd be in jail.
The Marseillaise is played today at diplomatic dinner parties where smiling monarchs meet beaming millionaires, and is rather less revolutionary than Home Sweet Home. In the case of the friars, the higher orders of the state, and to some extent even of the church, were profoundly shocked at such a loosening of wild popular preachers among the people. It is not at all easy for us to feel that distant events were thus disconcerting and even disreputable. Revolutions turn into institutions, revolts that renew the youth of old societies in their turn grow old, and the past, which was full of new things, of splits and innovations and insurrections, seems to us a single texture of tradition. But if we wish for one fact that will make vivid this shock of change and challenge, and show how raw and ragged, how almost rowdy in its reckless novelty, how much of the gutter and how remote from refined life this experiment of the friars did really seem to many in its own day, there is here a very relevant fact to reveal it. It shows how much a settled and already ancient Christendom did feel it as something like the end of an age,
God help us.
and how the very roads of the earth seemed to shake under the feet of the new and nameless army, the march of the beggars. A mystic nursery rhyme suggests the atmosphere of such a crisis. Hark, hark, the dogs do bark, the beggars are coming to town. There were many towns that almost fortified themselves against them, and many watchdogs of property and rank did really bark, and bark loudly, when those beggars went by. But louder was the singing of the beggars who sang their canticle to the sun, and louder the baying of the hounds of heaven, the Domini Canes of the medieval pun, the dogs of God.